Brain rules and cognitive functions. There are 12 brain rules. Each of these focus on a separate but vital aspect of the brain and how it operates. The first brain rule is exercise.
Exercise is important to the physical health of the body, but it is also important to one's mental health. Exercise increases oxygen flow and acts on the molecular machinery itself. The bottom line is, the brain craves exercise. The second brain rule is survival. Our ability to understand one another is our chief survival tool. This is where our cognitive functions come into action. The theory of mind states that we have the ability to guess others' thoughts and motivations. Using these skills can help us realize things important to survival, such as when we are in danger. The third brain rule is wiring. It is important to realize, especially in a field such as education, that no two people have the same brain. Each mind matures and grows at a different rate. All have different and unique wiring. Unfortunately, even though this is true, in places such as educational environments and work, people are treated as though all think in the same patterns. The fourth brain rule is attention. In this category, multitasking is discussed. The brain is incapable of multitasking, so when attempting this in real life, we are in fact task switching, which happens to be a lot more ineffective. Each person actually only has a 10-minute attention span. Because of this, it is suggested that in public speaking situations, an emotionally starting or a loud, unexpected noise should be presented to gain back the audience's interest every 10 minutes. This will then allow for students to become more studious and successful learners. The fifth brain rule focuses on short-term memory. The brain can only hold about 7 pieces of information for less than 30 seconds. Because of this, repetition is an imperative part of learning. With repetition, the brain will then be able to store the information for a longer duration and in turn transform it into long-term memory. This makes long-term memory our sixth brain rule. The more something is repeated, the more likely it is to be remembered. One should also take into account, however, that if something is more elaborately taught, that this will also yield a likeliness of remembrance. The seventh brain rule is sleep. Sleep is a necessity not only to life, but to thinking. The reason we need sleep, in fact, is so that we can learn. There have even been studies done that revealed simply taking a nap can make one more productive. The eighth brain rule is stress. It is important to have good stress management. This is because stress in one area of life, such as school or work, can in turn affect another area of life, such as one's home life. Stress damages virtually every kind of cognition that exists. This statement alone reveals the vitality of ensuring good stress management. Stress that is chronic can harm the body, mind, and even cause serious disorders such as depression. The ninth brain rule deals with senses. Sight, sound, smell, touch, taste. All of these, if stimulated, can help add to a student's learning experience. It is known that multisensory environments always do better. Even just adding a visual aid to a lecture will increase the amount of knowledge that is remembered substantially. When certain senses are weakened, others can grow stronger. The 10th brain rule deals with eyes. As said before, using a picture can increase remembrance. Information you would normally remember 10% of, you would remember 65% of with a visual aid. Just realize that the mind sees words as lots of tiny pictures. The 11th brain rule is gender. Not only is the anatomy of the male and female body different, but the minds are different as well. Men and women react to things differently, both cognitively and emotionally. Different parts of the brain are different sizes. An example of this would be the amygdala, which affects emotion. The 12th and final brain rule is exploration. As humans, we are born with preloaded software. Even as babies, we do active investigating through observation, hypothesis, experiment, and conclusion.
On a last note, cognitive development is defined as gradual and orderly changes by which mental processes become more complex and sophisticated. This happens over a long period of time, and the changes will not be in any way abrupt. This cognitive development is unique to each and every brain, just as each and every brain is unique to every body that carries it.